Hey everybody, welcome back to The Tipsy Ghost. We are your tipsy hosts, Sarah, and Lindsay.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Sometimes I just want to be included.
You are always included. You always say hi.
At the end.
We have our rhythm.
I am an afterthought.
5 years of a rhythm.
Before we dive in and talk about what we're actually here to talk about, our little on-location haunted episode, I thought we could play a little game.
I love games.
Same.
It's called New Phone, Who Dis?
You found who dis?
I think it's kind of like Cards Against Humanity.
And
no,
call me Vanna
this
White.
is not sponsored.
It is not. No, I've never played this game. Have you guys?
No.
Bought this with my own money.
Yeah.
Do you think that they did this on purpose, that the phone is only charged to 69%?
Absolutely.
That is a creative choice.
And one that we appreciate. Here's how it's going to work. I have a card, the original message that's going to be like sent to you. And you guys have other cards that are options that are going to be responses. You're going to pick your favorite one and give them to me. All right. So anyways, I'm going to read the card. Hey, roomie, can my niece take a dump in your bathroom? I just cleaned mine. What is your response?
All right, open.
You think that's bad? I fucking failed my final because I only knew my name. I'm sorry, but you don't sound smart. Lost all my numbers, but by the sound of this, I know it's Larry from the gas station.
Not Larry.
Okay, it's gotta be Larry from the gas station.
It's me. Larry from the gas station wants to use your bathroom.
Okay, Mom, someone is in the house. Please call 911. I'm hiding under the bed. Yeah, sometimes it really be like that, huh? That's very nonchalant. 1 sec. Looking for a damn to give.
Oh, Mom. This mom's the worst no matter which card it is.
It's got to be 1 sec.
That's me.
Looking
Good
for
job.
a damn to give.
I win.
Clever.
I went for nonchalant. You went for...
Sometimes it really be
jerk.
like that.
I don't care.
Sometimes really be like that, huh?
Well, okay. Let's talk, shall we?
Let's talk. We went to a new location.
We did. We took a little trip down to Yates Center, Kansas.
My favorite part of Kansas.
I had never been to Yates Center, Kansas.
None of us, I think, had. It's about an hour and a half south of Kansas City. It's about 30 minutes south of one of our favorite places in Garnett.
Yeah.
Turns out it's owned by the same person, Justin. So thank you, Justin, for letting us into your Yates Center, Kansas home.
Mm-hmm.
Also known as the Whiteface House. Sometimes we'll call it that. Sometimes we call it the White House. It's kind of interchangeable here. So
Yes.
here's what we know about the White House in Yates Center. The house is located at 511 South State Street in Yates Center, Kansas, and it was built in 1910. It is about 1,500 square feet, and it's listed, because I looked it up on Zillow, as having 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. But fun fact, there's really only 1 functioning bathroom. So yeah, there's 2, but there's 1 right now. There's also a room on the front of the house that might be an office area, and I don't think that they're counting that as an actual bedroom. It's 2 stories and has a partially unfinished basement with a very creepy crawl space under the front porch.
Very creepy crawl space. And we love a good creepy crawl space.
We do.
Some of us do, yeah.
Not me, typically.
No, because of the must.
It's too musty for me.
Lindsay didn't either.
I didn't like it.
I was the only one that was like, yeah, let's go there.
I didn't like it.
I went.
You both did.
You know what?
Yeah.
The one person who liked it was the person who could fit in the crawl space. We are stooping down and she's just walking.
I had to hunch. Thank you.
I don't think
She
you
was
hunched
the
very
hunchback
much.
of White House.
Oh.
It was adorable. Thank you. But who was the hunchback?
You were the
I
hunchback
was
of
gonna
the
say, I'm the
Masonic Lodge.
tallest of all of us, so I'm the hunchback.
She was the hunchback of the Whiteface House. Well, anyways, the crown has been passed now to Sarah. It was creepy under there, too.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that made it extra creepy is that the basement floor is not really just dirt, but it also has several inches of soot there, according to Justin. So as I mentioned, Justin Spurrier owns the home, and he says that they're still learning quite a bit about the house. He shared what he knew with us, so I wouldn't be surprised if more comes out over the years. Justin only recently started allowing people to come and stay and investigate. Originally, he purchased it to be an Airbnb. He has several stories about the house. He believes it was the piano instructor's house, and when he bought the house, there was this piano inside that matched the date of about when this piano instructor lived there. It is still in the garage, the detached garage on the property/storage area. He feels that when they removed the piano, that this is kind of when the activity started ramping up. Another family that lived there had foster children in the home, Yates Center, as I did not mention, is a very, very small town. He said that the people who lived there prior were painting the kitchen cabinets, so they were off the hinges and scattered around the floor while they were being painted. They left the house for a while, and when they came back, the cabinets had been stacked from biggest to smallest. There was a woman who was seen looking out the front window where all of the trinkets were, like the office area.
Mm-hmm.
She was seen several times by a child and his dad while they were riding the lawnmower. And what's interesting is that the child who said he saw the woman, they lived actually at this house and they knew that the woman didn't actually live there, but they didn't really put it together.
I love that it's like an organized ghost. That's the ghost that I want.
The trinkets?
Well, like, and stacking things from smallest to largest. Like, thank you for being organized.
They're like, none of this mess.
It's the OCD ghost.
Yes.
Aw. They have to live with that forever.
It's the ghost we all need.
So why is it called the Whiteface House?
Excellent questions.
Justin feels that there's an entity there that is just something entirely different than anything else he's seen. One night, while he was investigating the house with his son, he noticed a white face moving up the stairs towards him in the pitch black. He describes it as kind of a comedy tragedy symbol mask, but the face had kind of a neutral mouth, not happy or sad.
Reminds me of Michael Myers, honestly.
Well, yeah.
Like, that's what the face looked like. Because he has, like, a mask in a window.
Yeah.
When you pull up and you can see it. And I thought it was a Michael Myers mask.
The figure has also been seen on the main level between the cherub room and the bunny room. Those are the nicknames he gave the two main bedrooms on the first floor.
Did he give the bunny room the name, or was that us?
Oh, well, I don't know. I know a cherub room he called the cherub room.
I think the bunny room was us.
Oh,
We called it the bunny bowing room.
Okay, so he says that the figure has a, quote, twinsy type energy, but that he's still trying to figure out what that means.
What does a twinsy?
I don't know if it means like it has different personalities or...
Twinergy.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
Kind of like the drama masks.
That's kind of why he was saying that. He says that while working in the basement, he heard lots of footsteps on the floor above him in the main living room that just seemed to vanish all of a sudden. He felt that it sounded like 5 children running.
Specifically 5.
Yes.
It doesn't sound like 4. It sounds like 5.
Sounds like 10 feet. So Justin had spoken with the parents of one of the girls who used to live at the house. She lived in the green room and said that she hated going in the small closet because the, quote, mean girl was there. The girl said that she did not like the mean girl.
Neither do I.
The closets in this house. So there's 3 bedrooms upstairs, and the closets in each of those rooms were the creepiest closets ever.
Yeah. I mean, this is a 100-year-old house, 100-plus-year-old house in small town Kansas. So, and I say that because they're very similar. The houses are to each other, where they have like, they're very irregular shaped rooms. The closets are irregularly shaped. You have to take a couple steps down into these closets, a couple of them.
Sloped ceilings almost, like you have to crouch into.
Yeah.
Some of us.
Yeah, there's just
the mean girl closet
everywhere.
had like red lights in it, and then also almost like a vanity center
with a
set
typewriter.
up, with a typewriter and a mirror and everything. It was like it was nicer than my closet.
There was a guest there recently that had heard a knock on the door. The girl at the door said she used to live there at the house and asked if she could come in. And this was supposedly like late night, early morning. She's the one who said that there was a mean ghost girl in her closet, aka Mean Girl. She said she was playing in the closet and a panel came off and exposed a bunch of creepy dolls as well as a creepy poster. Justin said he had replaced a blind in the living room and was in the kitchen when he heard the blind being pulled up slowly.
Don't like that.
Another room upstairs is the glitter room. That's what we called it. It has a crawl space for a closet area. Then the last room upstairs is what we call the hammer room, and you'll find out why here in a minute. Justin added an old black and white TV that has static going to kind of add to the vibe there of the room. He also says the closet in the hammer room is very active, and there's another small closet in the closet that has a mirror for scrying. While we're walking through, Justin notices that the tape was on the floor and had not been there earlier in the hammer room closet. The house is on some acreage.
Land.
I'm gonna live where the green grass grows.
There is a detached garage storage area. There's actually 2 of them. And one of them, he says, there are stories from the town that say that the hangings and lynchings were done there and likely done on this property where the tree was, near the garage. There is a magical black cat that spawns between midnight and 3 a.m. on the property.
Favorite.
Spoiler, it didn't show up, but we're going to go there again soon, so maybe.
It might show back up.
Maybe this time.
And he tells the story of a guy that comes from Hutchinson and had a live stream going and people were watching his Twitch. He had already been in the house for a few hours, and when he went back to the kitchen, he noticed the broom standing up on its own.
In the kitchen.
Which I believe is on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch it if you want to. Yeah, in the kitchen. It's pretty cool. In the front room, he says that they've had a lot of EVPs and REM pod activity. The last part of our tour, we ended up in the basement. Justin was telling us a little bit of the history down there, and he had said that there was a fire at some point in the home and that you can still see the black marking on the stones down there, and that explains the soot mixed with the dirt in the basement. Do you guys remember anything else about the basement?
So there's like a rocking chair in there, and he mentioned that there is a black shadow figure that people have reported seeing down there. And there's 2 really creepy baby dolls.
Yeah, they look like zombie baby.
And then there's a door. He called it the moon door because it like had
a painting of a moon.
A painting of a moon. And that leads to the crawl space. And when we say crawl space, I mean, it's like a maze.
Yeah.
There was like several rooms to the crawl space, and you can go all the way back and sit in a chair back there.
Right. But some fun things started while we were down there, and this is the beginning of a really fun night for us as far as evidence goes. So while Justin's talking to us, we can hear a door slam, and we're the only ones in this house. So I know that we had left a door open.
Yes.
We had left 3 doors open.
Yeah,
because we were there in summer. So like when he was giving us a tour, we left all the main doors open to outside because there's no air conditioning
No,
this place.
There's no central air. So we left 3 doors open, and then we went downstairs. And while we were down there, we heard 2 doors slam. And when we go back up, only one of the doors was closed.
That's right.
The other 2 were still open. So we don't know what that second door slammed was.
And just to be clear, none of the doors to the rooms in the house were closed either.
Mm-mm.
No. And like I said, we were there in the summer in the Midwest. I mean, it is not windy.
Yeah.
It's dry heat almost. So it was not a windy night. I did watch a YouTube video of another group who had gone there because Justin kept referring to them and their experience there. And they had the same experience. Like they were there when it was warm out. They left the doors open while he was giving them the tour, and they were hearing doors slamming as well. And the doors would randomly close on them.
There were a few things that happened while we were on the tour. Like, I think Lindsay and I were right behind Justin. I know I was right behind Justin whenever we walked into the kitchen, and I think Lindsay was pretty close behind. And as soon as we walked in the kitchen, somebody gave him these like neutral white masks that are paper.
Mm-hmm.
And he had them on one of the cabinets, and it fell off and fell over.
It yeeted.
It yeeted.
Off the counter as soon as we walked in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it happen. It did. It yeeted like a couple feet off of the counter.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just giving us a basic tour. We walked in this room. It's sparsely furnished. So it was just, I don't know, a couple of end tables with some fabric bunnies straight out of the 90s.
Yeah, your mom probably has some in her house.
Your mom does.
They're like 3 feet tall, and they're just sitting on this end table in the corner.
They have dresses on.
Yes, they're beautiful
And
bunnies.
bonnets.
They do. So, innocent enough. We walk in there, we see everything, we walk out, we go on with the rest of the tour, and then we come down later to probably use the bathroom. I don't know. And we look in there, and the bunnies, both of them are now, they're like bowing. They're leaned over bowing.
Yeah.
So
Bent
that
at
is,
like a 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us, every single person in that house was not in that room. We were all together the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we call it the bunny bowing room.
Yeah, clever.
So in the kitchen, you mentioned that another person had live streamed that the broom was standing straight up. So we get to the kitchen, and there is like a section of the kitchen where he has all these cardboard boxes, like almost leaning against part of a wall. And we walk in, and we can post the video, and I just hear the cardboard boxes like all shifting and moving. It sounds like they're about to fall.
It does.
And none of us were in there. We weren't messing with it. And then they all fell.
For no reason.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Again, don't know what happened there, but we were all like, And you guys weren't even paying attention. I was the one, I think, who heard the noise and started videoing on my phone because we didn't have equipment out. And I was like, what is this noise?
Speaking of not even having equipment out.
Uh-oh.
The craziest thing that happened to us, unfortunately, we had not set up equipment. Justin literally just left.
He just left.
He had just left. We were at the very beginning trying to figure out what our night was going to look like.
And then
we hear
the loudest, I can't even emphasize this enough, the loudest banging noise, several bangs that I have probably ever heard. And when I say my heart literally jumped out of my chest because my first thought went to somebody's upstairs and is going to try to murder us.
Because we had left those doors open.
That's where
what I thought.
Our minds went.
That's where Lindsay and Sarah's minds went.
Somebody is here to kill us.
And this
Totally.
is when I realized maybe I'm not the final girl in the scary movies.
Because Boydston says, cool, let's go see. And
It's a ghost. Let's go up there.
if I would have been thinking that it was a ghost, I would have been like, yeah. But no, my immediate thought was, oh my God, we left these doors open while we were touring. Like somebody had to have snuck in and upstairs. And
While we were like in the barn, like
Yeah.
we were not in the house
Yeah.
when we were touring, and we still left those doors wide open. It's nighttime. And he had talked to us about another group who had come, and there had been a lady who had been like screaming at them.
yes.
A neighbor, the police had to come. It was a whole thing. And so that was like in our brains,
It's in your
thinking
brains,
that
yeah.
somebody had come and was like in the house making a noise.
Yeah.
And we had just come inside. So Boydson leads the charge.
Oh boy. I have
After we get our weapons.
yeah, we had to arm ourselves.
They stopped me. They're like, wait, this actually might be dangerous. I was like, oh yeah, it might be. And so we grabbed some weapons.
My weapon was my phone that I had pulled up, and Sarah's recording this.
I recorded the whole thing. It's
And I
classic.
have my phone open to literally call 911 immediately because I was convinced it was somebody breaking into the house.
Okay, here's the scene. Boydton's leading the way. She has a curtain rod that is bent. Lindsay has a screwdriver and the phone in her hand. I think I just have my phone, maybe another curtain rod. We're walking in that order up the stairs and hollering at the air.
Well,
If anybody's in here, we didn't know nobody was there, right? But we were screaming.
I was hollering at an intruder saying, I'm calling the police.
Right, but in true form, we say things like, we have weapons.
The police are on the way.
The
police are on their way.
standby.
Yes, you did. And then you say, I'm going to hurt your feelings with some Taylor Swift lyrics.
Is that what I said?
I'm sure she's
Yeah.
watched this video many times.
It's 3.5 minutes of nonsense. And we get to the top of the stairs and we decide we have to go back to back because we've seen enough shows.
Yes, I do remember that. You guys
gotta
were like back to back.
cover
We
each
got to
other's
clear the
backs.
room.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we were moving kind of as a unit
We were
into one
sweeping.
room. Yes, we were sweeping and saying really scary things.
We were trying to intimidate
We will
them.
hurt your feelings. Taylor Swift.
I have my phone and I will call the police.
And my curtain rod. Somebody had a screwdriver, so
He
that could have
talked
hurt.
about squatters. And so, like, that's legit where my mind went, was that someone was trying to squat.
No.
We're sweeping this place and cannot find anything. We start up to the we start in the Mean Girl room. We move to the glitter room. We're looking in the bathroom that is up there, and then we finally make it to the hammer room, and everything looks fine in the room. Then we peek into the closet.
Where we
And-
had been earlier.
Yes,
We knew what it looked like.
that's exactly right. And we found what had happened.
We found a hammer, an actual real life, full size working hammer, and a curtain rod now on the floor after they had been. When we left the room, they were up on a shelf. It was the most exciting moment of my life.
So that's why it was so loud when we heard it from downstairs. I mean, it's a legit hammer that fell.
They fell separately too, which is why it's because we heard
It
the
was
first
two
one
bangs.
and then the second one about made me poop my pants.
Yes. So they had completely fallen on the ground, and we took a picture of them on the ground. My only regret is I wish that I had taken a picture when we were touring
Before.
to show. Yes. Because I take pictures as we're touring,
Yeah.
and I had not taken a picture of the closet.
We can all agree, though, they were not like that whenever we went up there the
No,
first time.
we all remembered.
You're just gonna have to take our word on this.
We
one.
can all agree that there were no strangers on the second floor.
And this is in a closet that's in a bedroom, and there was no windows, nothing open on the second floor whatsoever. There's no wind
way to
flow,
get out
no
of there without
AC,
it,
no
yeah.
heat, nothing.
Tell me how that full-size, real-life, heavy hammer and that curtain rod got onto the floor. It was amazing.
Separately.
I don't know, but I do know it's very loud and it was very cool. And that was probably one of the best pieces of evidence that I think we've ever had. And unfortunately, we didn't have a picture before, but we know what happened.
I was there. It was amazing. I'm already going back.
She was so excited. Like, me and Sarah afterwards are talking about, we thought this was a squatter. We thought that this was like somebody trying to invade the house. And Boydson immediately was like, no, I knew it was a ghost. I knew it was spirit.
Immediately, no.
She immediately went to like, no.
At least you know we'll protect you.
Thank you.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
and that I will call 911.
Yes, I believe that. You were so stern.
Listen, looking back now, I didn't know the address. I didn't know what to tell them if I called.
We're at the
I'm at the
Whiteface House.
The Whiteface House. What do you mean? You don't know where we are?
They were on standby, damn
Things
it.
I should have known. That was at the very beginning. So that set the
Yeah.
entire night. We were like, let's go. Let's do this. We're excited now.
And we were.
That was like the first 5 minutes of us being alone. And by that time, we had already had so much happen, more than the last like 10 places we had been to for investigations.
We really needed that.
Oh,
Thanks,
it was
Ghost.
amazing.
So we finally decided to set up and investigate.
The first recording we have is about 10:30, and we had heard a noise before we came into the library, and so we didn't know where it was coming from, so we were like, hey, recorder, we just heard a noise before this, but we don't know where it was. And it was not like what we just talked about with the hammer room. So I put my recorder in the cherub room on the table in there, and Sarah, you had a recording going at the same time.
I do.
So these are both on the first floor, but they are like on opposite ends of the house.
Yes, the office area is where the old lady was seen in the window.
Yes.
So this is right after the hammer fell. We're really excited. Lindsay, you called it a noise, but you didn't say what it was. Boyston, you said you heard it too, and that it came from the left of you.
The left. That
Which
would
would've
be
been
where the
by the
window
window.
is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To the wall.
Till the ghosts drop down
Your
and
what?
fall.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And really, we didn't sadly get any evidence in here, but I did have to sit there and listen to Lindsay giving disgusting details about how she's going to suck off the head of a crawdad and eat it in New Orleans.
Crawfish. They're good.
And then we have Boyston and I, in true form, have questions about the rest of the remaining Craw family.
Listen, because I
Craw Granny.
have eaten the crawfish, and I said, yeah, you suck the head. And you guys were like, what? I was like, no, it's a legit thing. That's where a lot of the meat is.
Like its brains, though? Or
And
is
it's
this the
good.
same?
Yes, we
Yeah,
had
so
this conversation,
We
and
knew
it's good.
Sarah and I knew if there was a dad, there has to be a mom, a grandma.
Mommy.
I cannot take them seriously.
Baby. Craw Granny. This went on for minutes, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Where is the family?
But Boyston, you did agree to eat a crawdad when we went to New Orleans.
I can't wait.
Did I agree to suck the head? Because that does not sound like anything I'll do.
I don't know, but I firmly said no. I stand in that lane.
Like it. So I put my recorder in the cherub room. We are in the library. I heard a bang. It's like I can hear us vaguely in the distance, so I don't know if that was us. I hear something, and I put, doesn't sound like us, but maybe. And it was like whispering, but it didn't sound like us at all. And then I got a breath, and then a really long breath of them just being exasperated and going,
Classic.
Turns out that happened a lot.
And then at 43 minutes, I said, I can hear us singing Taylor Swift in the kitchen. You belong with me. And Sarah is screaming my name because I'm not singing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Checks
I
out.
came in to turn off the recorder. And before I did, I said, sorry, recorder, we are dancing to Taylor and they are throwing bottles.
Oh, yeah, we were launching them as hard as we could.
I kept hearing all
Trash
these
can.
bangings.
Trying to get it to the trash can.
And I didn't know what it was before. And I was like, that's why.
practicing my basketball.
So I am very glad that I called out we were throwing bottles because I had no idea what all of the bangs were.
Fair.
So yeah, breaths and then maybe like some EVP that didn't sound like us.
Ooh, I like that.
That's what I got. And that was about an hour. We are downstairs in the cherub rabbit room at 23:30 and my recorder's in the hammer closet.
Sarah is in the cherub room. I'm in the bunny room. Lindsay goes between both throughout the recording.
And they are like these two rooms are right across the hall from each other. They're very close.
Right. Only separated by a bathroom.
And I put a recorder upstairs in the hammer closet, which is the closet where all the stuff happened at the same time.
So I do call out that I have a cat ball in there with me. And at this time, at the beginning, Lindsay's in there with me. I call out that it is very quiet now. It feels like there was like a buzzing of energy initially, and then it kind of quieted down. Then I heard a tap by me at about 9 minutes in, and then I hear a very faint whispering after Lindsay asks a question. But I wrote in my notes that I couldn't tell if it was you talking in the other room. We could compare our recordings and see them. Lindsay, then you moved to the other room in the closet over there.
I just wanted to be part of everything.
Thank you.
Lindsay's just moving.
That's good though. And I call out in the recording, quote, an interference squeak.
Oh.
Explain that. I don't know what I mean by that. And a thud.
Interference squeak?
Like electronics when they have an interference noise.
okay,
That's
okay.
kind of what it sounded like.
Kind of like when it vibrates, yeah.
I think I might know what the thud was because whenever Lindsay came into the bunny room, she went into the closet and hit her head.
So in my recording upstairs, I put thud, like the floor is shaking, but then I hear someone say, ow.
It was you.
It was me. Mystery solved. I was like, somebody ran into something. It was me.
Debunked.
Apparently I shook the floors.
The only other thing I wrote down is that just as we were getting ready to leave, the cat toy finally went off. And that was the only time.
Finally.
Yeah.
So for my recording during that same time, within 40 seconds and then 30 seconds after that, there was a loud sigh and then another sigh, like they were over it. And I knew it. Sometimes Lindsay's a sigher, but she was in a totally other room and it sounded like it was very close to my recorder.
I am a sigher. I forget to breathe sometimes. I never go up to a recording and loudly sigh.
I do believe that. I can vouch for that.
I'm never like, ooh, there's a recorder.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That would be loud.
We were asking some good questions, and at one point Sarah was talking and asked something, and I hear a no.
Can you imagine if it was 100 degrees outside today?
Which is pretty cool. I turned my recorder off because I thought we were done, and then I turned it back on for about 25 seconds to say the cat ball went off in Sarah's room.
Okay. Then that was the end.
Good job.
I got a couple taps and thuds apart from when I said ow. Nothing. Really, no EVPs or any sighing, just taps and thuds, which again, I was going back and forth between the two hallways, so I'm not going to credit those too much. It could have been me just walking.
So we move upstairs now. It is now 12:26 a.m. The three of us have recorders going. Mine's with us in the Mean Girl room.
Mine is in the Sparkle Pink room, which is next door to the Mean Girl room.
And mine is downstairs on the main floor in the cherub room where we just were.
Funny thing. Okay, so we try to start using Phasma, and we're having some technical difficulties, and I think it's me. Boyson says, you give up easily when it comes to technology, and basically you need to try harder.
I bet, never mind. Boydston figured it out. Yay, Boydston.
And I was butthurt. And then you said, I think she's mad at me. And then you say, well, when you say things like that, it doesn't sound very nice. And then I finally came to and I said, no, you're probably right. I do give up easily because I get frustrated. So it's
Thank
fine.
you.
Listen, I will say, when we drink, we have a lot of feelings, I feel like.
Turns out I'm very honest.
And I
That's
get
okay.
emotional.
All right. We finally get it working.
Mm-hmm.
Boyston, you're in front of the mirror.
She's in the closet, like
Yeah.
right in front of that vanity area with the mirror. And I think I'm sitting outside of the room. You're doing Phasma, and the first thing that you said was, all is good. And then Boydson, I guess because she was feeling sensitive, said, spirits, can you say something nice about
That's
me?
what happens when I drink.
And so then I said, I introduced us. Boydson, your first question is, because we're in the Mean Girl closet, what colors do you wear on Wednesdays?
Yes. The
Classic.
answer's only pink.
And then I said, can you tell me your name? And that's where you said,
I say Shatton. It's an interesting name.
I don't know that name. I didn't even know how to spell it.
He's been shatting his pants.
They're explaining what we did earlier when the hammer fell. Shat in your pants.
Yes.
That's what we did.
Okay, somebody asked, what's your favorite question? And my response was, what a question. Yellow. One of you says, why do you like yellow? Because she's in trouble. Can you make a noise in the closet? At 2 a.m. That's what they told me to do.
Mm.
Do you know why it's called the Mean Girl closet? 2 girls. And then you 2 hear a cat or a girl's voice, but I didn't hear it on the recording. But you called it out. I say, there's 2 girls there. Cherish them. And then you say, what are your names? And I say, Corinne and Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Can you come into the closet? And I say, Stephanie's down there. And then we kind of all lost the vibes in Mean Girl room. So we tried changing it up and moving to the other room. I hit my head as I stand up and run instantly into the cat ball.
I put that too. Sarah hit her head and walked into the cat ball. And you said, God damn it. And Boyson said, get it together.
This is only after you had already hit your head on the... In our defense, it is a sloping ceiling.
It is, yes. And you guys had said that you weren't feeling the vibes anymore, and you said the vibes were going down and we need to wake them back up.
Yeah. So I left my recorder in the room while we moved to the other room. And I know, Lindsay, you now get on Phasma, and I can't hear what we're saying, but I'm sure you can. I can hear part of what we're saying, and what I could hear was ridiculous. So
Yes.
I am so sorry.
So I'm doing Phasma. We are all in this room. It is 0055. Because I apparently stopped my recording and started it again. It said,
Very
timestamp. I said, first thing I said on Phasma was, Sarah, hi.
hello.
They love you guys. Like, can I just say, every time I get on Phasma, I feel like Sarah comes through.
Thank you.
We're hilarious.
Boydson said, my name is also Sarah, but sometimes that's forgotten. I'll let the other Sarah know you said hi.
Because I was down in the bathroom, I think, initially.
Yes. You were in the bathroom, and so you were the only one there, and you're like, I'll let the other Sarah know you said hi.
It's obviously not me because it never is.
And
Oh,
then I
boy.
said, clap for me. So you clapped, and I appreciate that. You dropped your flashlight. My ears bled. Thank you. And
Oh, that
then
was a common theme.
you said, I'm sorry. And Phasma said, it's fine.
Thank you.
You were asking them to do that again, please, like the big bang we heard with the hammer. He said, I did it. And then you came back in, Sarah, and I said, Sarah, she should leave. One of them.
Rude.
Sarah, you said you have to be specific.
That's true, though. I don't know what they mean.
And he said, that's hard. That's what she said. And then in a very loud voice, I said, go. Sarah, you said, no, thank you. We're going to stay for a little bit. And in another loud voice, I said, too much. And then in a deep voice, I said, go. You asked, who are you? I said, God. Boyson said, it's me, Margaret.
Oh, here we go.
This is where it starts.
Yeah.
Yes. When I am doing Phasma, the two of you.
I know.
I said, I believe it. When you said, it's me, Margaret. You said, I feel like you have other things to be doing right now.
True, though.
And I said, yeah.
Why are you here?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, no.
Sarah, you said, okay, so you're probably busy.
Jesus.
Spirits, I know you're busy, but
I don't want to inconvenience you, God, but
exactly how it came off. You go,
It's true.
so anybody who lived here, can you just talk to us? You said you lived here, you are valid. We just want to know your name.
you're valid. We believe you.
We believe that you believe you are real.
I love that. And when you asked for the name, I said contention,
Okay.
which I feel like that is like a really weird name to say.
Sounds like
Word.
a
Yeah.
medieval dog name.
Yeah, it does. Like, what was it? Like 1800
Yeah.
England? Yep. Sarah, you reported that you were feeling uncomfortable.
Mm.
Then we get to Sarah singing The Edge of Glory, aka The Ledge of Glory. You guys were talking about something with the ledge, and so you went off on The Ledge of Glory. And I got to listen to like a whole minute.
It was very long. I did
loved
not
it.
stop.
I loved it so
I
much.
could hear it very
I
loudly.
said, I'm sorry, please, are you being serious? Through the Phasma.
Yes.
Boydson said, dear God, it's me, Sarah. I tried. And while you were saying this, like, she is still in the background singing The Edge of Glory.
Yeah, this is when I was like, yeah, well, can't control her anymore.
Sarah said, that's our musical. And Boydson, you said ours? And Sarah said, yes, you did the spoken part. Sarah thought that there was a light on in the corner, but we didn't have any lights on, so I don't know what that was. So then the two of you start arguing about lights because Sarah had turned her flashlight on, blinded Boydston. Then you guys sing This Little Light of Mine
Oh, it's my favorite song.
because of the flashlight.
Yes.
And then we got the best part of this whole musical
No,
number,
it's not.
which is Boydston singing about her cats.
I was reenacting the songs I sing to my cats in my personal private residence that nobody else needs to hear.
On recording for us.
But this is such a treat for me listening
I
back
heard it
like
too.
weeks later.
I made her listen to it because I was like, oh, look what I came across.
And while she's singing these songs, I say through Phasma, please stop. And then you start singing again, and I say, go out there. Boydson said, you know who you would like to talk to, and that's my friend Lindsay. And I said, no. Is that the best you got? That's slightly rude to me. But then you guys had my back. Sarah said, she is the best. She's the best of the three of us for sure.
Wow, I'm so nice.
I loved hearing that. And then Boydson said, but really, though.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Anytime that you kept calling me God or Jesus Christ, the voices would laugh. And I would say that. Like, I'm just hearing laughing.
They introduced themselves as that.
I said, say my name through Phasma. And you guys started singing Deep and Wide.
How did we get there?
I don't know.
Jesus?
And then I took off the headphones and I said, are you guys singing the Deep and Wide song? What has been going on?
Yes.
And then overall, you guys said at the end of this recording, no vibes were had.
You forgot the part where we sang, and mostly Boyston, saying Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh, yes.
That came into play, so that's probably why I was saying it was a musical episode.
Yes, you did say it was a musical episode, and I enjoyed that.
So just the little bit of recording that I had left in the Mean Girl room while we were doing all this ridiculousness in the glitter room, I did actually catch a few things. When I have my headphones in, I can hear what sounds like a man's voice kind of talking underneath what we're saying.
Oh, wow.
It's really hard to hear it without the actual headphones on, but I can hear it. And then after Boydston's done singing her song about Max, there's a very large, loud sigh.
Please stop. Please stop. Please stop.
Like that.
They were tired of hearing about my cat songs.
And that's when the Phasma said, please stop. So that kind of makes sense.
So after you say, I believe it's right after you say, please stop, there's a very loud shushing right into the recorder.
That was very nice. Shh. No whispering tonight. Shh. No whispering tonight. Shh.
Huh.
And at that time, none of us hear this in real time, but Lindsay, I can hear you call out that you heard footsteps. I hear a man's voice 2 other times. In the very last minute of this recording, we're coming into the mean girl room to pick up the recorder. I hear us very loudly walking into the room. Here's the scene. There's a cat toy in the middle.
Oh, did one of us hit it?
We instantly kick it.
Listen, it is always dark and we cannot see where they are put.
It goes flying across the room, and then I hear a very loud bang in the recorder. And then I hear Boydston sigh and say, Jesus Christ! And I say, I don't think you touched that. And I don't know what the hell's going on. I can only hear these
yes,
things.
I remember this.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And then Boydston says, I didn't touch it. And then the recorder goes off. And then I get back on the recorder for like 2 minutes. And I say, Boydston says a doll threw itself at her, which is what I heard on the last audio. So apparently a doll threw itself onto you when
I
you were
was
going
going
to pick it up.
in to get the recorder. And
In the mean girl closet.
In the mean girl closet. And then there are these dolls that are set up off to the left where the recorder was. Well, actually, no, the recorder was to the right of where the dolls are. But it threw itself at me.
It did.
Listen, if you ever hear Boydson say Jesus Christ or Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, something is going down.
I am startled.
She is startled. The doll just flung itself off of the...
Yeeted.
did.
That is the theme.
Off of the vanity towards her when she was reaching for the recorder. And she hadn't even touched the recorder yet.
Nope. So the cherub room had nothing while we were upstairs, besides whenever we were walking around or going up and downstairs, it was so loud.
Yeah,
We are
it
so
is.
loud.
Everything carries in this house, to be fair.
But then as we were coming back downstairs, Lindsay came down first. She was in the bathroom. And when she comes out, Sarah and I are now down there because Lindsay was not up there whenever this doll yeeted itself.
No, I had gone
And so
to
we're
the
telling
bathroom.
Lindsay about it. And Sarah just keeps saying it went flying. And I go, and then I was just,
I said that probably 10 times. I was trying to paint the picture. You were not as excited as I was wanting you
She
to be,
wanted-
so I kept trying to hype up the situation.
reenacting her surprise.
I was trying to prove that we kept our cool.
Yes.
I
We were
appreciate
like,
that.
Facts.
But that was not the only doll movement that we had that night.
No.
Okay, so 124. I have a recorder that is in the gray room in the hammer closet. We go in, and the very beginning of the recording, literally 49 seconds in, I just hear like a thump, and I hear Boydson, her shocked expression.
she was,
I don't know if we said this. This room has a loft. It's a loft bed. And that's where the TV is sitting up high. And then there's like objects and there's a Ouija board and all this stuff. The doll fell off the loft completely when we walked into this room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right in front of
Things were
Boydson.
just falling everywhere.
And so Boydson starts climbing the ladder to get onto the loft.
I must go up there.
Exactly. As soon as it fell off, she's like, I must go up there. Sarah goes into the hammer closet and
it was hammer time.
and you had the recorder in there because you were the loudest. Have you been waiting to make that joke this entire
No,
episode?
it just came to me.
Okay, that's perfect. Sarah takes the recording in with her because she's the loudest. So I think that you have the recorder right there by you. And I say into the recording that I saw it falling. I can't remember how it happened. And I don't remember if you were already climbing the loft or if like you were climbing it after it fell.
I
don't
believe it
remember.
was after.
Okay. Sarah, you said that when we first came into the room that the TV was messed with. So it's like an old school TV. Like a big box TV, and he has it like on just static. You said that it flashed 2 or 3 times, and you asked it to reset. Me and Boydson are like, oh, we didn't see that. And so then you said,
Had a moment.
Boydson, I thought you saw it too. Boydson was like, no.
Oh, God.
Teleported
again. Not again.
You go, God damn it.
Hate it when that happens.
You were both there.
You probably were. Now you're messing with me.
You said that you saw interference, and you can't believe that we did not see it. And we're
I'm
like,
still mad.
no.
Lindsay and I just conspire against you.
I'm wondering.
Anyway.
Hate it.
Okay, so Boydson, you and I are in the room. We hear a rumble below us on the first floor. I didn't catch it on the recorder.
Rumbling.
It was like vibrations, like almost like someone stepping. But I didn't catch it on the recorder. But that's what we called it, a rumbling. Sarah, you said you hear nothing, and you said the closet feels like a negative space. That was a
Meaning
quote.
like nothing. Yeah.
Mhm. I hear again, I said it almost sounds like thunder from outside, which it was not thundering that night, I don't believe.
No.
So then after this, we decide to go in the basement. We haven't been in the basement all night or to the crawl space. So I put a recorder on the kitchen counter, which the door to the basement is from the kitchen. Boydson, you took a recorder in the basement with us.
I took one with us and I had it on while we were walking through the back part of the basement, which was a mistake.
Oh no.
Turns out ash and dirt and us are very loud. And so just the constant movement made my ears bleed. So we only spend a short amount of time down there. Lindsay wants to keep a light on and so do I, because the dark is scary. And then Sarah, I think, is in the other dimension, and she doesn't hear Lindsay and I talk about not wanting to be like in complete darkness. And she's like, you guys need to turn the light off. And we're like, no, I think we'll leave it. She's like, no, the lights need to be up. And so we turn the lights off.
I have said this from the beginning. Like,
I forced you.
Whatever I believe, I do not like the dark. Like, do not like it. So,
Yeah, especially under a 100-year-old house in a
like underground
old fire pit.
2 in the morning.
Also,
No.
it was hot. Like we did not spend a long time down there, but Sarah said she's feeling something. She said she hears a noise, and we asked about what it sounds like. And she said, I don't know. It's like an Eric noise, like the name Eric.
What?
Yeah.
It's an Eric noise.
Do you know an
believe
Eric?
me.
And so we try and ask her. We try and ask Sarah, and she's like, no, I'm not going to explain because this is another time where I'm going to sound dumb.
Yep.
And so eventually we get her to say she just is hearing multiple voices, and she was just hearing multiple things, which I feel like is
Okay.
you're still in your other dimension.
I'm really guarded. I can tell.
Yes.
Just hearing it.
Eric
I don't
was
want to
there.
say anything because
It's the Eric noise.
I know I sound like an idiot. And I still sound like an idiot, even with guarded responses, but it's better than it has been in the past. I think
Right
we
before
know.
we start to settle down, I noticed there's another set of like cloth dolls. It's on a table in the middle of the
Living
room where we were putting our cots up, and we noticed, oh, these dolls are now, they've fallen over
Yes, and this is the living room, like the main room.
where we're
getting
going to be
ready.
sleeping.
Yeah.
So we start to settle down, and at one point we find that there's another door open that we know that we had closed. And then Lindsay and I watched something move. I don't know what it was.
I don't
Was it
remember
the
this.
drawer? A drawer opened.
Oh, the drawer opened.
Because I can
Yes.
vaguely hear us getting really excited about a drawer opening.
There was
like
a big,
right in front of our eyes.
yeah, there was a big desk in the living room. There's not a lot of furniture in there.
Mm-mm.
And one of the drawers for the desk had opened.
But for the most part, my overnight's pretty simple because we're on the same floor as where we are sleeping, and that giant industrial fan
Yeah.
is going.
We
And so
did,
that's mostly what I can hear. Occasionally I hear like sheets or bedding move, and I can't tell if it's anything besides us moving.
No, and that's kind of the risk we run when we do these investigations in the summer months. Like, we got to have a fan when we sleep. It's so hot in these rooms. So we know that our recordings might suffer.
Even though mine was upstairs, it sounded like the fan was in the room with this recorder. So I too could hear the fan all night long. I did hear a cute little fly buzz really close to the recorder. That was the first time I'd heard one there.
And I got the second half of your overnight in the Mean Girl closet, and I heard like 2 thuds that sounded by the recorder, but that was about it.
Yep.
I had the overnight in the basement. I put it right by the door to the crawl space, and I heard movement all throughout the night. I also could hear every single time we rolled over in our beds because of the cots. Like, nothing that I am willing to say was us for sure. I did catch a growl at one point, and then
That wasn't us.
that was not us, no,
I
unless
did
one of
not
us was
growl.
snoring very loudly, but it was like one time.
I would have heard that. No.
About an hour and a half into us going to bed, I hear footsteps or movement. You can hear when the toilet flushes. It was very obvious when one of us got up to go to the bathroom. I did not hear any toilet flushing, so I don't think any one of us would have gotten up an hour and a half after we went to bed and just not gone to the bathroom. But
Right.
you do hear footsteps and movement.
I had the video overnight in the hammer room closet.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't catch much either there, sadly. Just a couple taps and thuds.
Yep. I had some parts of the night vision there, and I didn't catch anything. Lindsay did take notes, which is very smart because
Ooh.
we forget these things.
Yes. Are you going to read my notes?
Yeah.
Apologies because I probably had a few drinks in me when I took these notes.
They're good.
It's okay.
Okay.
Keep doing it.
Basically, almost all the places we go, we say the vibes are just off. I say this place is creepy, bad vibes, but upstairs in the closets were the worst. And that was at the beginning. So turns out we were correct. Sarah said she saw shadow people in the cherub room when we were doing the tour.
You're a shadow person.
I am now.
Embrace it.
I do remember that though.
I at some point had some headaches and shoulder pain. I just was having kind of like physical weirdness. But the most interesting thing in the notes is about you and I opening our doors.
I remember. Yeah.
Yes.
And we have different processes, but I struggled to open mine because I try and go through the door of the house. It's like in my mind's eye, I try and do this, and it wouldn't let me in. I had to try like 3 different times to do that. Do you remember about yours?
I think I remember saying like I didn't want to go in.
You said you had to force yourself to go through the door.
Yeah.
You said you usually see, this is our thing.
This is per my typing
Oh,
as
gosh.
you guys are talking about
She
it.
said she usually sees 3 bodies, but now she sees a 4th person
Yes.
who's actually alive, and it's a woman.
I do remember.
And she was leaning over the body bags of the other 3.
I have no idea why this happens.
And it's usually like a safe place. You said it's usually a safe place for
And
you,
I
but
felt
tonight
scared.
it was scary.
Yeah, I do remember.
You say you also had to try 3 doors.
So yeah, interesting place. Can't wait to go back, see if we get similar situations.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, that's okay too. Obviously, it doesn't always go the same, but
We are hoping to go back when it's a little bit cooler outside, so that way the fans will not be interference, hopefully.
I slept fine, actually.
I actually slept pretty good.
I did too. I absolutely loved this place.
What is your rating? You know I'm going to ask it. You got to
Ooh.
give it 1.
Okay, so just from that experience alone, I'm
Yes.
going to say like 9.
Me too. Yeah, I really liked it.
I loved it.
Is that our highest rating we've ever given?
I think so. Maybe.
Recently for sure.
Wow. High praise, you guys.
And rightfully so. It's got all the things.
I mean,
all
the
the things.
first thing,
Poltergeist, EVPs.
the first thing happened literally before we even set anything up.
I mean,
Right.
the only reason it's not a 10 is because I didn't see like a physical apparition.
Mm.
That's the only thing that would have sent it over the edge for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love it. I would go back anytime. I would live there.
Did you feel the energy of the Whiteface entity?
No.
I didn't either. I feel like, I don't know if it was an old lady and a younger middle-aged man. Was my
Okay.
guess.
I don't get those vibes.
It was Eric.
All I know, it was.
You don't get like that
wild.
specific of
No.
vibes. Okay.
No, I can either tell if it's right or if it's not right. I'm gonna go for not right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Repeatedly, you guys just kept saying that the vibes were off. The vibes were there. You were picking up on things. Like no matter what room I feel like we went to.
Yeah, for sure.
I do want to spend more time in the basement when we are down there next time.
Mm-hmm.
And we never went to like the barn.
Yeah.
No,
We didn't spend a lot of time there.
We just ran out of time.
yeah,
Mhm.
we got there kind of late. The tour was long because it was our first time there, so we just didn't have time to do everything we wanted. But that is why we were going back
Stay tuned, guys. We will be back for sure.
Soon.
very
too.
soon.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in this week to our haunted investigation at the Whiteface House. You can always find us at thetipsyghost.com with our socials linked from there, or send us an email at thetipsyghost@gmail.com.
Please give us a 5-star rating and a great review anywhere you listen to podcasts. We really appreciate it, and it really does help.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll catch you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.